Facebook or YouTube?
I'm a big fan of YouTube, actually. I tend to use it a lot. Not just to watch my own videos, but I love to sort of like discover things that I can't get in America, like Escape to the Country, which is a show about like, you know, people buying houses in the British countryside. Stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I guess YouTube is definitely a preference over Facebook.
Tattoos or clothes?
I have tattoos. I will probably get more tattoos in my life, but I'm a big fan of clothes. I'm not a fashion victim, but I do really admire some designers, and I feel like there's artistry in that, and I will spend money on that if I think it's worth it. Vivienne Westwood, I love you.
Download or vinyl?
I'm of a certain age. Let's not sort of forget that. And I grew up with my dad playing vinyl, and I am super proud that all my records have been released on vinyl. So definitely vinyl. I mean, there's something so sort of physical and satisfying about it as well. Vinyl.
Touring or evening at parents' house?
Well, this is where I'm lucky in the fact that like my parents came on tour with me, which normally most people would think would be a sort of frightening thing, but for me it was really lovely. It was so nice. I was touring in Germany actually, and my mum and dad came over and did 5 shows with me, and not only that, but my dad got on stage for those 5 shows and sang a song or 2, can't remember, with me and Jürgen, and it was really beautiful. It was so, I don't know, it's really special. So I suppose if possible, if I can have both, then I will choose both.
Hairdo or facial?
Well, I don't have much hair, do I, at this stage of the game, and I do have a lot of facial hair, but I mean, anything to look young, I'll take a facial if it's going to help, but yeah, so I mean, who doesn't love a facial? That sounds rude. Who doesn't love a facial?
Game of Thrones or The Simpsons?
Huge fan of Game of Thrones. Massive fan. Love it. Like the best television, maybe the best television that's happened. But also there's a bit of a story about Game of Thrones. And that little story is that the Red Witch, emailed me. Well, the woman that plays the Red Witch. She emailed me, and she's a musician. And she asked me to do a song with her. And of course I got this email and I was like, what the is going on? Like, I couldn't believe it. Immediately wrote back saying, yes, I'll do a song with you. Super excited. And then, wah, wah, I never heard from her again. So she disappeared in a cloud of smoke.
Joint or beer?
Unfortunately, I don't smoke pot anymore. I'm super into the legalization of marijuana. I think everyone should have the right to smoke it legally. I think it's really backward that that hasn't happened yet. Oh, I did have a bad back recently, and I took CBD oil, which is an oil that's made from the marijuana plant, but without the THC in it, so you don't get high. But it was miraculous. So not only should people smoke marijuana if they want to, but medical marijuana is absolutely a must. Like, I think it's kind of a little miracle plant. So I may not smoke it, and I may choose beer for this question, or wine, as it goes. But yeah, I suppose beer.
Soccer or rugby?
I never got into rugby when I lived in Australia. It was always a little bit of a well, the high school I went to was very rugby centric, and I didn't fit in my high school. So I suppose rugby kind of is somehow equated to my my disenfranchised feelings as a kid. And I love soccer, actually. I don't love it, but I like it. I've watched a few games and got sort of excited by the skill and the drama of it. And so I suppose soccer, yeah.
Partner or single?
I am single. I do believe in love. And I definitely have been in love. I mean, I made a career out of singing and writing about love and the loss of love and the longing for love, and I think love is all we have, really. I believe in love being the pinnacle of evolution, but I don't have it, and I was interested in to promote my new album. I was interested in writing about other subjects than romantic love.
Club gig or arena?
I did play an arena once. I mean, I'm not Mick Jagger, but I did. And there was a time in my singing life that I sang on Japanese anime. And there was a composer called Yoko Kano, and I ended up singing on a whole bunch of stuff for her, and it was wonderful. And sometime after, she had a retrospective of her career, a big arena show, like a massive arena show in Tokyo, and I got flown over to do that, and it was horrifying. There's actual footage of this somewhere that's secret, thank God. But I was on a hydraulic and I was catapulted up to the stage to sing my first song. And the look of horror on my face, because I just saw a sea of people out there. So I guess I'd say arena, because I'd like to relive that experience to get it right. So yeah, who doesn't want to play an arena? I mean, really.
Soul or pop?
Soul or pop? I love pop. I love soul. It's hard to say. Maybe they're not exclusive. I mean, maybe there is a middle ground there. I mean, I do love the word soul. I mean, it's sort of almost biblical, isn't it? But I think I think the connotation of soul music is probably more appealing.
Coming out or hiding away?
Well, that's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? I mean, if you're talking about your sexuality, which I think that's what the question means, like coming out as a gay person, a trans person, or just coming out as anything that's truly yourself, is beneficial not only to you, but to everyone around you. I mean, I'm kind of living proof of that. So to hide away, I mean, as much as I hide away as a person, to have solitude, which is necessary for me, but I would never advise people to not come out. It's an incredibly personal thing, obviously, but it helps so much if you just be true to yourself.
Ballet or yoga?
Ooh, I'm not really a yoga fan. I know it helps. I think I've done it maybe. I used to have a we used to have a DVD of yoga, and I do that in the morning sometimes. But I've never done a class. I'm too scared to do that in front of people. But I love ballet. I mean, it's beautiful. How could you not love the romantic arts? I used to work for the Australian Ballet Company. I was a dresser, and I used to dress the performers. And I've witnessed some ballet. It's so skillful, it's so difficult, it's so beautiful. So, of course, ballet.
Kylie Minogue or Sia?
I've never met Kylie Minogue, unfortunately. But I have met Sia, and she's spectacular. And I'm boasting now, I'm kind of like tooting my own horn, but I did get to go on tour with her, and she did sing a song with me, or 2 songs with me, for a Christmas EP I did. And she's so generous and so talented, and her voice is out of this world. But to be honest, my heart has always been with Kylie, and will always be with Kylie, because I grew up with her. You know, she was like a pop icon to me, to be honest, I love her new album. I think it's glorious. I'd love to dance to it. Kylie, I love you.
Cover or original?
Well, I mean, I don't find it easy to write original songs. It's not like I'm this prolific kind of songwriter that like churns them out. It's a difficult process for me, and very sporadic process for me. And I made a covers album a few years ago called Unlearned, and that process of making that album was really pleasurable for me, because the fear factor was taken away. I didn't have to worry if people liked the songs, or if they were worthy. These were songs that I really loved already, and I could reinterpret them in a way that seemed honest to me. So I suppose I'm going to go with cover, because even on my new album, there's three covers. Maybe not so obvious as my last album, covers album, but they're still covers, and they're songs that I really enjoyed, sort of like playing with and making my own version of, I suppose, covers.